Deborah feels kind of gross right now, so she's using her old camera because the picture quality is really low, so you can't really see me that well. I am recording this on my actual camera over there because the sound quality, I don't know, I don't trust that. So like, we want me to sound okay. It's better that you can't really see me for the time being. I'm going through a moment right now. Don't even worry about it. So you've seen the title of the video, you know what this is. Since we're using the camera that we've not used since like 2020, I thought, you know, let's bring back a video format from the old camera days, something that I've not done since, well, I did 10 of these, 10 proper ones and a bunch of spin-offs between like late 2017, I think, and late 2019. There's loads and loads of these. They are my least viewed videos. I was looking through my statistics. The Ohmydinosare Story Corner, which incidentally this is welcome to Ohmydinosare Story Corner! Ohmydinosare Story Corner! The most viewed episode of Ohmydinosare Story Corner has 29 views. The least viewed regular episode has 8. I brought it back sort of in like 2021 for Ohmydinosare Story Corner Week, where I had a 5-part story I told over 5 consecutive days. The least viewed part of that, I think, has 4 views. So these, I think, is my least viewed video of all time. So yeah, back by popular demand, Ohmydinosare Story Corner. I've still got the original book. We have, over the years, covered 9 of the stories. There's 17 stories in this little book. We have read 9 of them. We've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and we've also read 11. For some reason I skipped ahead of that because the boy who was too clever, I couldn't wait to get to that one, I guess, which is just as well because I would have really have had to have waited because we wouldn't be up to that yet. But yeah, I've missed this. I was talking about this the other day to Sewage. I was reminiscing, saying about how I missed Ohmydinosare Story Corner, and he was like, I didn't like that, and then I said, oh ho ho, because that's the theme music. I don't like this oh ho ho. And he doesn't like that either because that's like, or maybe he does like that, I don't know. But yeah, let's bring it back. We've done half of the stories. Let's do another 8 episodes and finish off the book. Let's just do 1 for now and see how we get on. I'm probably not going to be ripping through it, the book's falling to bits. The book was falling to bits in 2017 when I did the first one of these. It's not 9 years on, it's not looking any healthier. But yeah, let's just bring it back. Let's bring it right back. So here it comes, the new episode of Ohmydinosare Story Corner. This story is called Silly Cousin Anne. The sad thing is, we'll never top the childish hilarity. Oh my goodness, this bit's just come off. We will never beat the childish hilarity of the Strange Blue Sweets. That one is like that we peaked too early. That was episode 3. Silly Cousin Anne. I don't. This is the thing. I haven't read any of these. It's a while since I last read this at all. Will there be something problematic in this book from 1947? Maybe. Oh no. Let's find out. Cousin Anne is coming to stay with you for a week, said Mother one day. You can go to the station and meet her this afternoon. You must give her a nice time. She is as old as Mary, so you should have some fun together. Dick, Mary and John. Well, we've got a character called Dick right off the bat, but you know, that's fairly like low level humour. Dick, Mary and John were pleased. It would be nice to have someone else to play with. I'll show her more caterpillars, said John. I'll show her the best tree in the garden to climb, said Dick. I hope they don't have too much dialogue, because I've now committed to these voices. And I'll show her Mr. Brown's old cat horse. Why have they all got different accents? And I'll show her Mr. Brown's old cart horse who leans over the gate and lets us stroke her soft nose, said Mary. Anne was a little girl. Yeah, she's the same age as Mary. Oh, Anne was a little girl. She's particularly noteworthily small, I think is what we're saying. Not so big as Mary, though she was the same age. She seemed very quiet, but the other children thought perhaps she was shy. On the way home from the station, they passed the field gate where Blossom, the old brown cart horse, lived. Mary whistled loudly and put her hand into her pocket for the lump of sugar she had brought for Blossom. Look, Anne, here comes Blossom, said Mary, as the great old horse came lumbering up. She put her enormous head right over the gate. The horse has an enormous head. Mary has a normal-sized head. She put her enormous-sized head right over the gate and nearly touched Anne's shoulder. She shrieked and ran to the other side of the road. Anne, Blossom won't hurt you, cried Mary. Come here and stroke her nose. No, no, said Anne, quite pale with fright. She might bite me. She won't, really she won't, said Mary patiently. Come and give her this lump of sugar, Anne. But Anne wouldn't. Nothing would make her go near the old horse, so the children went home thinking that Anne was really rather silly. Come and see what I've got, Anne, said John, who was longing to show his cousin his fine caterpillars. They were stick caterpillars, and when they were still, they looked exactly like bits of twig or stick. John thought they were wonderful. Anne went with him, thinking she was going to see some soldiers, or perhaps a fine train. John took her to the shed, and there he showed a box full of big caterpillars, all eating busily. Oh, the horrid things! Squealed Anne, drawing back quickly when she saw them. I can't bear caterpillars! Oh, John, how can you touch them? Oh, I couldn't! I don't like caterpillars, or earwigs, or spiders, or moths, or beetles, or... Well, I think you are perfectly silly then, said John, impatiently. What harm can they do you? None at all. We're far more frightened of you than you are of them. Fancy being frightened of such tiny things. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Anne began to cry. She did not like being spoken to like that. I think you are horrid, she said. I really do. I wish I hadn't come now. I want to go home. The pages are kind of stuck together a little bit because the corners like folded a little bit. You know where the when the page, like the corner kind of gets like bent over like that. It makes it harder to turn the page. Dick felt very sorry for the little girl. He took her hand. Never mind, he said. Forget about caterpillars and spiders and things. Come with me and I'll show you something fine. He took her to a big chestnut tree at the bottom of the garden. Do you see that branch up there? He said. Well, that's our secret home. The trunk is hollow just there. We keep a box of biscuits there and a cushion you sit on. And some stories to read. Dick talks like an old man. This is... I was going for obnoxious boy, but I don't know what boys talk like. I'll take you up if you like. Come on! Dick swung himself up on... Be quiet. Dick swung himself up onto a branch and stood on it, ready to climb upwards. But Anne went quite white and shook her head. Oh, I couldn't possibly climb a tree, she said. I'd be so afraid of falling. Oh, I really couldn't, Dick. Please, please come down. I can't bear to see you up there in case you fall. You are a little coward, said Dick scornfully. Go and play by yourself. I'm going to our secret place. And up he went while poor Anne stood below, looking up in fright, afraid that Dick would fall at any moment. But he didn't. He took out the cushion and put it on a branch and sat on it. He took a biscuit from the tin and pulled out a paper to read. Go away, he said to Anne. I don't want you. We've got a little illustration, by the way, of Dick telling Anne to go and bugger off. What a what a rude set of siblings. She's just scared. It's all right. You don't have to be into everything. It's just bit unkind. Anne wandered away. She wished she had never come. I can't help being frightened of things, she said, with tears in her eyes. I'm not really a coward, it's just that I'm frightened of some things. Anne didn't have a very nice time the next few days. Dick put an earwig on her plate and made her upset her lemonade in fright. Mary put a spider on her pillow and Anne refused to get into bed. She made such a noise that Mother came in to see what was the matter. She took the spider quite gently off the pillow and put it outside. Then she tucked Anne up and kissed her. She went into Mary's room and called Dick and John in too. You're not being kind. The mother just has my voice, but I've run out of voices to give people. You're not being kind, she said. Don't you think that Anne is frightened of quite enough things, poor child, without you frightening her still? I don't think she's a coward, really. She just can't help being afraid of some things. Even grown-ups are like that sometimes. I know someone who is terrified of bats. It's Batman. It's Batman. And then their uncle just comes in and is like, hey, it's me, it's Uncle Batman. Is Batman scared of bats? Or, like, he is a bat. I don't know if Batman... I saw Batman at the cinema on Saturday, the 1989 one. It was quite good. How silly of them, said John. Ah, okay. Right, let me just point out, just to go from a tangent right here, let's just remind you all of the agenda. This book is from 1947. This copy is from 1979. We just referred to a single person as them. It's not a new thing. Everyone's like, oh, I've never heard of saying that them to talk about someone. Yes, you have. This book is 50 years old. And falling to pieces. And so am I. Right, that's just a little tangent. They're only little flying mice. It isn't good manners to tease a visitor, and it certainly isn't kind, said Mother. I shall expect you to behave differently for the rest of Anne's visit. So after that, the children didn't frighten Anne anymore, but they let her play alone and didn't speak to her more than they could help. Mother told them to go for a picnic on the last day of Anne's stay, so they set off to the woods with a big basket. Anne was very miserable. She knew her cousins thought her a silly little coward and were longing for her to go home. After tea, the two boys and Mary went to hunt for a good tree to climb. And it was whilst John was up high that he caught sight of something struggling in the river not far off. He told the others to go and see what it was. They ran off. They soon found out a puppy had fallen into the river and had got caught in some weeds. He could not get out and he was struggling hard. The old lady who owned him was on the bank looking up and down for someone to help her. Oh dear, she said. It's Mrs. Hudson. Oh dear, she said when she saw the children. My little puppy is drowning. Is there any grown-up with you who can help me? No, said Dick. Oh, poor little thing, what can we do? I can do something, said Anne suddenly. She slipped off her shoes and threw her hat on the ground. She jumped straight into the river with a splash and to everyone's great surprise swam strongly over to the weeds in the middle of the river. Anne, be careful, shouted Dick, afraid his cousin would drown. Oh dear, if only Mother was here. John climbed down his tree and raced to the others. What did you tell Anne to do that for? He said. We didn't, said Mary. She did it herself. Oh, look. She has reached the puppy. She is pulling him out of the weeds. He's free. Now he's swimming towards the bank. Oh, good. Sure enough, the puppy was swimming towards them. Anne turned round in the water and swam back too. She was a splendid swimmer. Her cousins had not known that she could swim at all. In fact, they had thought her such a silly that they didn't think she could do such a thing as swim. She was a silly. I love silly as a noun, that's fun. Anne swam to the bank and climbed up. She was dripping wet, but her eyes were happy. I'm so glad I got him for you, she said to the old lady. I love dogs. You're the bravest little girl I've ever seen, said the old lady. These other children only stood and stared, but you jumped in. But you see, I'm a very strong swimmer, said Anne quickly. It would be silly to jump in if you couldn't swim well. Mary and Dick and John do things I'm afraid of doing, but perhaps I can do things they can't do too. You can, Anne, said Dick, putting his arm round his wet cousin and giving her a hug. I'm proud you're my cousin. I shouldn't have dared to jump in because I can only swim a little way and Mary and John can't swim at all. I'm sorry we said you were a silly little coward. You're not. You're just as brave as we are at some things. Anne was very happy to have her cousins so nice to her. They took her home and told Mother how brave she had been. Mother was very pleased. She took Anne's wet clothes and put them to dry. Mother, we haven't been very nice to Anne this week, said John, rather ashamed of himself. Could you ask her to stay another week? Then we could be really nice and make up for this horrid week. I don't expect Anne will want to stay, said Mother. She hasn't been very happy, I know. But Anne did want to stay. Glutton for punishment. Yes, I'd love to, she said. Now that the others know I'm not really a silly, I'd love to stay another week. I would like to learn not to be afraid of horses and spiders and climbing trees. And perhaps I could teach my cousins to swim so that they wouldn't be afraid of jumping into the water. So Anne stayed another week, and at the end of the time, Dick could swim right across the river, and John and Mary could swim 12 strokes each, and were not a bit afraid of the water. And as for Anne, she learned to climb an easy tree and to give Blossom a piece of sugar and not to run away from a spider. So I think they all did very well indeed. And, there's a moral in that story. Probably. If you're scared of things, that's okay. Maybe there's other things that you're not scared of. And that's fine too. Honestly, yeah, there wasn't much to laugh at in that one, other than calling someone a silly, which we need to bring that back. You know, you're a silly, and that Dick is a dick. So join me next time for the next video. What will it be? I don't know. Something probably. This book needs its binding repaired again. I did fix this up when we started doing the Story Corner back in 2017. The tape has lost its stickiness. That's kind of what happens. But yeah, will there be another installment of this? If this gets to 30 views or more, which would make it the most viewed episode of Ohmydinosare Story Corner, then I'll come back at Christmas and I'll do the Strange Christmas Tree, which is the last story in this book. Otherwise though, maybe we'll never revisit this topic again. Sewage hates these. I'm glad you liked it, Sewage. I hope you come back for next week's video. What is it? I don't know. I do know. Will it get made on time though? That I don't know. That depends on Sewage. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Tell me a story, oh ho ho. It's not nearly Christmas, oh ho ho. It's a story, oh ho ho. I don't like this, oh ho ho. That is what Sewage said when he watched it, oh ho ho.